Alright, so I just listened to some of the videos that I've already recorded, and the volume is still pretty low, which I apologize for. I turned up all the settings on my computer were, at 75-80% full, and I jacked them all up to the highest they go, and it's still pretty quiet. I mean, the mic's right up against my face, and I'm pretty much yelling alone in my room. I'm yelling it into the mic at the computer, um, which you can tell because a lot of the times that I make the P sound, they you get that kind of like blowing into the microphone effect that's really annoying. And so yeah, so there's not much more I can do. Hopefully before the next video I do, I figure it out. Maybe there's a setting that I couldn't get to, maybe a third or fourth setting or whatever, because I checked, but or maybe the microphone that I'm using just doesn't have a very high sensitivity. But whatever it is, yes, I know the sound is low. I'm doing the best I can. Just turn it up, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me and my insights. Anyway, so thanks to the replays, we know that we're playing the Mythic Mirror. I understand it post-board, but pre-board, I don't really know how Game 1s go, just because that comes from, play experience, from playing the matchup a bunch, and post-board you can theorize more heavily about what matters. So, I'm pretty sure that the important cards are Knight of the Reliquary and Sovereigns / Conscription, and that Elspeth and Cobra are the best support cards, which is pure theory, but that was my pep talk to myself coming into the game. So I draw force and lead with that because again, the fetches are more valuable. Bird, he has the turn 2 knight, which is kind of intimidating, but we have a pretty explosive draw. We're a little flooded. We kept 4 lands, 2 mana guy hand, and drew a land and another mana guy, which is what Mythic's gonna do a lot. But if we ever draw a real threat, then we're in business. Here he brainstormed with his Jace, which just means it's gonna get eaten by Colonnade. Thanks to Hierarch, it was gonna get eaten even if he upped it. So his only options to save it were A, do what he did and hope that I don't have a land, or B, he could bounce Lotus Cobra, which would force me to have another Noble Hierarch. Because if I have another Noble Hierarch, then I can just play Cobra, Hierarch, and attack the Jace for 2 with birds, and that wouldn't leave me enough mana to really do anything else with my turn. So he would still be wasting my turn, but would force me to have a second Hierarch instead of any land, or comes into play untapped land. So it's a matter of what's more important, like obviously it's way less likely that I have the Hierarch, but if I do, then he doesn't get to brainstorm. So this way he absolutely gets at least some value out of it. He brainstormed, and I did have the lands, and it's kind of cool that he has the knight. This is like a really good start for him to go turn 2 knight, turn 3 Jace, brainstorm, and be able to shuffle the crap away with the knight. And obviously I have to time walk myself and spend my entire turn killing Jace for fear of falling too far behind. There's no point in playing Baneslayer because it's either going to be irrelevant, or if it's relevant, then he just bounces it with Jace for 0 mana. So he does shuffle end a turn with his knight, and then spends a turn playing a Baneslayer. I spend my turn playing a Baneslayer. And here we're about even. I can't block his Baneslayer because he'll just get a Sacher step and eat mine, and he can't block mine because I have a Hierarch. And he's a little ahead because he has Knights where I have Colonnades, but you know the game state's pretty even right now. And the only reason that he would be a little ahead, besides Knight being better than Colonnades, is that he's brainstormed. So he's like, imagine if I brainstormed right now. You know, I'd be able to do some nasty things where he already has. So here he plays an Elspeth and jumps Knight and attacks for 12, thanks to the Hierarch that he also played. And here I chump it with Bird. I think, hold on, let's find out together. Yeah, okay, so I chump it with Bird because I have, with the fetch land and Cobra, I have 8 mana, and so I can play Conscription if that's what I draw, and if I don't, then like my line is play Baneslayer and attack Elspeth with my Baneslayer, which either I eat Elspeth or I eat Baneslayer, thanks to Exalted. So I'm looking pretty good in this spot, and the only way I'm gonna lose is if I just get, you know, he has, ooh, my next round starting. If he has like a Sacher step or whatever and can like jump his guy and fetch out Sacher step and get past my blockers, so the life is more important. And sure enough, I do draw Conscription, so fetch adds 3 mana to my mana pool, which, oh, I guess I had 9 mana. Which, oh yeah, that's actually important. I had 9 mana. If I only had 8 mana, then I probably wouldn't have blocked, because I can play like Jaces and Elspeths and the Baneslayer, which is really important. So I had 9 mana, which means I can play the Conscription or a 4-drop plus my Baneslayer, which makes it worth it in my opinion. But I drew Conscription, which, you know, with Exalted he has to chump it with his Baneslayer and then he's just dead. So I'm going to play my next round, and then I will be back with Game 2 of this match.